Hello all. Just a short one. I have two copies of High Tide and Green Grass. And one is stereo, and now I don't know about overseas, but in Australia, for some reason, DECCA released their Satanic Majesty's Request by the Stones and Big Hits High Tide and Green Grass by the Stones on the black DECCA label, which was a classical label. I don't know, I'm pretty sure Australia is the only place that happened, because from what I've seen of the British ones, the stereos were a green label. Anyway, I haven't done my research, I'm very lazy. That's not what this is about. It's about if anybody finds one of these in good nick. I'm just trying to point you in the right direction. Now this is my stereo copy, in beautiful condition, full frequency stereophonic sound, great condition. Yeah, but sound wise, I really should have done some research here. It's a bit all over the shop in that I think some of it's sounds like it's reprocessed stereo, or I don't know, but it's alright, it's good. But I should have done a bit of research. My eyes, I'm getting old, I'm nearly 70, and my eyes, I can't read the small print, I can't read the run out grooves on records or any of that anymore. But yeah, it's okay. This is probably the best Stones compilation, you know. It came out in '67, I think, early '68 or '67. And it's got probably my favourite Stones 45 ever, which I have quite a few copies of on the single. Have You Seen Your Mother, Baby, Standing in the Shadow? It's the most outrageous, energetic thing they ever did. Oh my God, you know. I don't know what they were on when they did that one, but by God, it's full on, you know. It's if you want grunge Stones, Have You Seen Your Mother, Baby? And it was a flop, I think, everywhere. It scraped the bottom of the top 40 here in Australia, in Sydney, just scraped in. That's all. I couldn't believe it, because to me that's up in their top 5 greatest singles ever for sheer power. Anyway, yeah, so I should have, just, for anyone that's never seen this, I'm sure, which would be ridiculous, everyone's seen it, it's one of the first ever gatefolds, you know, like, this is, what, you know, this was so extraordinary at the time, for, usually this sort of thing was reserved for, you know, classical editions, even jazz didn't get this treatment. But this was just mind-blowing at the time to us teenagers to in the USA, that's the cover. In the USA, this is the cover in Australia and England. I don't know about anywhere else, because Australia was basically just whatever we had the, you know, we followed the English, or a lot of, you know, except with especially with the Beatles, with one exception. But with the Stones, we sort of followed the American issues. Not the first album, but 12x5 Australian, which I bought when I was 14, is the American track listing, which to me is better than the English one. So yeah, Australia sort of sometimes had the English track list, and then sometimes the American, and sometimes, yeah, the American 12x5 I think is superior, better tracks, and I think we've got the American out of our heads with the English cover. Look, I'm old, mate. Forgive me, please. I'm sorry for getting old. I hate it. Anyway, yeah. So this one is the mono. playable. See, it hasn't got the band across it up there. It hasn't got the full frequency stereo. So this is it's got the ear. See? The ear. This is a little bit lightly scratched, but they're only surface scratches. But this just kicks ass. It kicks ass, mate. This is so much better than stereo. So this is full mono, and it's good because all these tracks, you know, they're better in mono, all of them. Because these are all early Stone songs. The most recent song on here is "Have You Seen Your Mother, Baby," which is late 1966. So yeah. So all I'm saying is, if you can find one, or if you do find one, and you have a choice between the stereo and the mono, I highly recommend you grab the mono. They do tend to be more beaten up because that's what kids bought in those days, including me. You bought mono because the only people who had stereo systems were like millionaires. And the best sound system I heard at the time in the 60s, a friend of mine, John, his dad worked at the out at the nuclear reactor in Sydney at Lucas Heights, and he put this massive he had a mono system, but he built this huge speaker into the ceiling of his lounge room. Oh my God, it's one of the best things I've ever heard in my life. I'll never forget putting on Substitute by The Who when I went over to visit him and put it on his father's stereo, and it's this huge bloody speaker in the ceiling, you know, bigger than 12. It was big. It's like, must have been like a public address system thing speaker or something. But the sound just came down over you. It was unreal. I've never heard anything quite so good ever since, to be honest with you. It was mono, but mono is the best. When you know, that's just me, my age and all that. But yeah, I did play my mono Sergeant Pepper's first pressing to my nephew recently when he came to visit, and he's got the CD 2009 CD monos. I've got the bootlegs of them. They're not bad to listen to on a little Discman or something. But when I played him the original first press mono Peppers, I watched him and you could see him. He was hearing things that he's just never ever heard before, and it is the version. I go for insane amounts of money now, and I would never sell it. I keep that, and he gets it when I die. So, but yeah, it's to die for. Whoops. Hope not too soon. Take care all.